Right, everyone, get ready. It's time for more speedrunning action. Presenting SloshW, who will be playing ARMS and their level 4 Grand Prix default ARMS Master Mummy Run. Slosh, take it away.
All right, hey everyone, I'm Slosh, and this is ARMS. ARMS is a fun little 3D arena fighter for the Switch, where pretty much you run around with characters that have super stretchy arms, and it's boxing with a lot of interesting gimmicks with different boxing gloves and whatnot. This category is the single-player mode, the Grand Prix, set on the level 4 difficulty with Master Mummy and his default set of arms. There are a ton of different arms in this game, and you can mix and match any loadout of 3 that you want, but since this is default, I can only use Megaton, Retorture, and Phoenix. We're not going to use Retorture because Retorture kind of sucks. So I'm going to select Master Mummy, go over to the level 4 Grand Prix, give a quick countdown, and then we are going to be off. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
Now we've got about a 30-second loading screen to start the run. Thrilling gameplay. This game also supports motion controls. I'm going to be actually punching with the Joy-Cons to make Master Mummy punch. So Grand Prix has... Well, level 4 has actually 11 fights. Each match is a best of 3, so I need to beat each character twice. Each character in this game also has their own home stage, and the first round of Grand Prix is always on your character's home stage, and then every fight after that is on your opponent's home stage. So, if I had gotten up against this character I'm fighting against, Bite and Bark, after round 1, then I would be fighting on the stage Buster Beach instead of Mausoleum, which is Master Mummy's home stage. And then pop the Rush, which is effectively the ultimate in this game, and close out any round 2s that I will have Rush charged for. So I'm going to be using for almost every fight the double Megaton, because this game, each boxing glove has a different weight class assigned to it, as well as an element. In the speedrun, at least for defaults, we don't really care that much about the element. But Megaton is a heavyweight arm, so that means that it will only... it can only be parried by other heavyweight arms. Springman is using Double Toaster, which is a firearm which unfortunately pierces through Master Mummy's super armor, so I do need to be kind of careful about that. But Toaster is a medium arm, so anytime that I throw a Megaton out, and it collides with a Toaster or a Boomerang, in the case of Springman switching to Boomerang for this round, my Megaton will just plow through Springman's arm, knock it down, and keep going. Also, Megaton on a charged punch will deal 140 damage, as opposed to, I think it's 120 on an uncharged. So anytime that I can land a charged punch, rather, I want to do that. Also, Master Mummy can deal 200 damage with a grab, and each character has 1000 HP, so anytime I can land a grab at the end of a fight, I definitely want to try to do that. Now we've got Skill Shot. This is the first of 2 party modes that'll be showing up. It's pretty much a minute-long auto-scroller, so if there are any messages from the host, now would be a terrific time for that.
Yeah, totally. So actually, a good question came in chat as you were describing earlier. Do stages matter a lot in this? Or is it really just environmental?
There are a lot of different sizes to the various stages, so there are certain stages that you really do want to avoid. This character that I'm fighting against, Helix, actually has a stage that is not that bad size-wise, but has 6 breakable pillars on it that the computer loves to try and wiggle around behind and hide from incoming punches. So getting Helix on one of the party modes so I don't have to play that stage is actually pretty good.
Gotcha. And chat, remember, !donate in chat in order to be able to get access to donating to such a great cause. I'll read out your donations and the comments. And we got that Kuso Grande Gauntlets, which is a bid war for the top 2 spots. Get those donations in, folks.
Alright, so this is actually a fairly unique stage. So we got Kid Cobra on Snake Park. Snake Park is pretty much the biggest stage in the game, but there are these snake boards that you can jump on and ride around, and they're really fast, but also add even more jank to the game than is already there by default. So I want to knock Kid Cobra off of the board as much as I can, and then try to position myself on my snake board on top of the other snake board as frequently as possible, so that way he can't get back on. Because Kid Cobra is hard enough to hit as it is. I don't want him to have a whole lot more movement and be on top of a surface that can parry punches. That stage actually is the only stage that got removed from the ranked mode, just because of how janky it is. But now we're back to a little bit more conventional stage. We got Ramen Bowl against Min Min. Min Min is a character that, if she gets a charge, I really want to knock her down as quickly as possible, because her left arm, after charging, will be permanently charged until she gets knocked down again. Charged arms really only run into a problem when they are the fire element, the shock element, or the wind element. Actually, ice too, but ice not as much. Because all of those elements do have the power to, when charged, break through super armor and knock down heavyweight characters like Master Mummy, Mechanica, and Max Brass. And Masango in certain situations. But if you can knock Min Min down when she's got, that permanently charged, either Ram, which is what she had in the first round that got permanently charged, then you don't really have to worry about it too much if you can keep the pressure on. Now we've got our second little party mode. We got V-Ball against Mechanica. This is actually very nice because Mechanica has probably my least favorite stage to play in a speedrun setting, because it's another one that has breakable pillars, but in a much more height space than Helix's stage. And also, Mechanica can get really problematic depending on what arms she uses. Can you please let the ball hit the ground? Okay, so V-Ball, you need to get 5 points or else it is also an auto-scroller. And if the ball has not hit the ground for a certain amount of time, it'll just automatically break. Okay, that didn't really save a whole lot of time over skill shot earlier, but there is one other party mode that I really wish I could have gotten instead of literally either of those. It's called Hoops. It's pretty much basketball, where you just throw your opponent into the basketball hoop and get a bunch of points. It's really fast. It is significantly faster than the other two, under almost every circumstance in a speedrun. This fight could end up getting a little bit strange, because we got Lollipop, and she's decided to use the clapback arm. The clapback arm is the arm that is on the left side, so her right. It's a shield. There are 2 shield arms in the game. The other one is Guardian, which actually was used by Helix earlier. But clapback has the fun little mechanic where an incoming punch that hits it will be reflected back at the user. And if the clapback is charged when it is used, then the arm, when it goes back, will be charged at the user, even if the user did not throw out a charged punch. Also, I realized that I haven't really explained how charging arms works. You charge an arm by holding a dash or holding your shield for a certain amount of time. Also, the rush meter, so the ultimate move that every character has, is the little triangle that is next to the character's HP bar. And that gets charged from throwing out punches and also performing like maximum length dashes. This is not a fight I like to see late in the run. The computers start putting up much more of a fight the later into the run you get. And Ribbon Girl is an interesting character that can be problematic for a large gentleman like Master Mummy. Because, one, she is incredibly tiny, and two, I guess there are three things. Two, her default arm set has 3 arms that can penetrate super armor, and 3, her special character mechanic is she can jump several times in the air. And also she can fast fall, depending on if you try to hold a dash while in the air.
That is a lot of control. It sounds like a pretty OP character, especially late in the game, but readily handled. Queedy asks in the chat, is Master Mummy considered to be a good character in this game?
Master Mummy is considered to be, at least in competitive, very low tier. Because he is very big, so he's very easy to hit, and also his dash speed is not the greatest. However, in a setting of a default arm speedrun, he can be incredibly powerful because of how big his arm girth size is. He has the biggest arms in the game. And also, as I mentioned earlier, Megaton deals 120 on an uncharged punch while being a heavyweight arm, and 140, making it one of the strongest just raw damage outputs that any arms have, as well as not being an element of one of the types that just instantly knocks down your target. So it's a lot easier to chain punches together. Okay, this dude is just strafing everything. I need to get him out of the blue mask. Masango is a character that I really wish more people had played in competitive, because he's very unique. He's really difficult to use. But that little spirit thing that's floating around next to him that's constantly changing colors.
Yeah.
If you dash or shield, then that little spirit will effectively become a mask. Also, hang on, real quick. Cool speed tech here. This is the Springtron fight. Alright, Springtron's gone.
Oh.
For some reason, Springtron doesn't always show up in level 4 Grand Prix. I don't understand why. But, yeah, anyway, Masango's masks. Depending on what color they are, you'll get a different sort of effect. The red mask gives him super armor and a stronger grab. The blue mask makes him really fast, but a slightly weaker grab, and the yellow mask charges rush faster and gives him more protection when he unleashes his rush. Again, though, slightly weaker grab. Also, this is Max Brass. He's sort of a pushover when he decides to go with double gloves, because he also has a heavy arm called Kablammer that's a hammer that explodes. And that can parry the Megaton because they're both heavy arms. But if he just goes double gloves, then he's really free. So there's actually only one more fight left, and that is against the Secret Weapon Headlock. This is just pretty much a repeat fight against Max Brass, except now he has 6 arms instead of 2. So this is one where RNG can play a huge factor in the fight because you really want to see double gloves because... And of course, now he's using the Kablammer Thanks game. But he's only really that threatening if you're playing, like, level 7 Grand Prix. Level 6 as well, because in level 6 and 7 Grand Prix, you fight at Sky Arena Dr. Coil instead of Max Brass, and Dr. Coil is just awful. In every single mode, in every single way. I'm going to just completely whiff rush, just kidding. He's going to jump back into it. Alright, one fight left. Time is not immediately after the fight ends. Why is he going double Kablammer? Time is going to be when I press next on the victory screen. So, only a few seconds after the fight ends. I'm sort of trying to play this a little bit safe because he does have rush charged. And Headlock's rush is a little bit different. It's sort of... he just sort of launches a big explosion and a big exploding sphere at you instead of actually like a bunch of punches. Sort of like that. Oh, come on. Okay, apparently... Doesn't always happen, but there are times where your arms will just sort of get stuck on the wall. And unfortunately, that is what happened that time. That fight sort of highlighted why I don't like seeing double Kablammer. And... time.
BG! SloshW, congratulations on that. Thank you so much for showing this off. Any shoutouts that you'd like to share?
Shoutouts to Fastest first. This is actually the fastest, the first time that I got to show this game off in a speedrun setting. Yay. So this was a pretty cool experience. What was my time?
Your time was 15 minutes and 51 seconds.
Alright, I'm really happy with anything sub 16.
Yeah.
Especially given the fact that there was skill shot and a slow V-ball instead of hoops being there. That was... I'm very satisfied with that run. But yeah, once again, thank you to Fastest First for letting me show off this game. I think that is all from me, so everyone make sure that you keep those donations coming because it's a